So hi and welcome to this brand new YouTube channel. We're going to be focusing here mostly on things like content creation, online marketing, e-learning, creating online courses, lots of different ways to make money online. Recently I rented a private office space so I could do more one-on-one video shoots with my face in the picture rather than just doing like slide and voice-based tutorials. And I spent the last 4 or 5 days trying to build out as best as I can a studio to work from, with lighting, with the right camera equipment, with the right backdrop. And I thought that I would document that process a little bit and see if I could pull together a kind of montage video to serve as the first video in this channel. So what you're about to see, none of this is scripted, it's all completely ad lib. When I arrived here, I had no idea how I was going to configure the room. I had no idea where I was going to put the lights, where I was going to put the camera, backdrop, nothing. So things chop and change a little bit, and you see my journey over the last 3-4 days of experimenting with things and just trying to get what you see now from what started as just a basic office. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let's step back in time about 4 days. So hi, welcome to the channel. In this channel we're going to be covering all sorts of things involved with making money on the internet, entrepreneurship, video production, YouTube, all sorts of interesting stuff that I do day to day in my work. And I thought for a first video for the channel, why not produce a video about setting up the brand new studio. So apologies for the sound quality in this video. I have the microphone here, but I'm literally just setting up today, so nothing's been connected, nothing's wired up yet. But I'm really excited. I've got this rented space that I took over today, so I've just moved in, I'm just getting my things set up. The microphone's not connected yet, so apologies for the sound quality. I'm just using the onboard camcorder microphone. So let me give you a quick tour on how things are at the moment and how I'm planning to set up the studio. I haven't quite got it all organised yet. It's a brand new space, I've only been in it for a couple of hours, so I'm still trying to figure out where best to put things. So let's have a look. So as you can see, it's a relatively small space to work with, and you can see I've got the desk here, and at the moment I'm going to be positioning my tripod behind the desk here at an angle, and if I come around the side you can see I've got my mic set up but it's not been cabled in yet. The mic I'm not too sure of. I've had to play around with different positions to try and get the boom at the right angle to talk into. And for the time being I'm going to start off with just this one key light, and then I'm going to add some more lighting as I go. There's also a lot of reverb in the room, so I'm going to be adding some foam paneling. So here I've got the Blue Yeti mic. That will improve the sound quality of my videos when that gets plugged in. And here for my key light I'm using an ES-DDI, very cheap. You can pick them up off Amazon for around 50 euros I think, I can't remember. And so that's it. So from my filming position here, I should be able to bring my microphone over and have the camera pointing at an angle towards the desk. So that's the space that I'm working with. I'm waiting tomorrow to get some of the foam paneling, which I'm going to try and place up against this wall and this wall. Not only will it help the reverb in the room, but it should look a lot cooler and be a much nicer background. I'll also be probably adding some sort of coloured light to come up and shine against the white bit in the middle to add some colour into the background. I haven't quite sorted it out yet. I'm going to sort of play with it as I go. But this is it. So this is the beginning of what hopefully will be a really interesting YouTube channel. So over the next couple of days I'm going to try and transform this space as it is now to this. Cool. So now let's get on with building the studio. So first thing I've tried to do is improve the audio. So I've got my Yeti Blue mic is now wired up, so we're recording the audio through that. I've been playing around with the gain settings. I'm in a bit of a shared environment here. There's offices next door and there's offices below. So I've been trying to figure out what the best gain is. At the moment I've got this turned all the way down, and then if it was a clock face about 5 minutes up. What you'll notice is, even though the sound quality hopefully is better, we've still got quite a bit of reverb around the room, and hopefully when I get my sound panelings up behind me, that should improve. And the second thing I've now got is my camera setup. So before I was shooting on this Sony Handycam, I've now got the EOS 250D set up in front of me. I can show you that now. So currently I've got the 250D with the stock lens that comes with it, with the kit lens. And to the right of me, I've got my key light and softbox set up that's just coming down on this part of my face. You'll notice two things. It's still pretty dark over here. I haven't got any kind of filler light. I'm now looking at getting 2 LED panels, which I've just ordered from Amazon. They should arrive tomorrow. So I'll be rejigging the lighting in here. Just with this softbox doesn't give enough light. I'm also going to try out a couple of other lenses on the 250D to see which one gives me the best results. So we've got the camera set up, we've got the microphone set up to give us better sound. We need to work on the lighting and we need to work on the room. So we'll do that next. So now I've swapped out the Canon kit lens and I've put on a Sigma lens that I've got that goes down to f2.8, and that handles the low light a lot better than the kit lens. The camera can get down to about ISO 4-500 now, so the image quality should be better. I'm quite happy with how this looks at the moment. Obviously we still need to work on the lighting, but I think I'm going to use the Sigma lens at least for now. So as you can probably tell by the change of clothes, it's a new day today. So I had a bit of a think about the lighting situation in the studio, and the softbox light that I had to my right that we saw earlier, that wasn't giving enough light, and I've got 3 more of them, but the size of this room to put up those huge softboxes just would have eaten all the space in the room. So what I did eventually a couple of days ago is I purchased a couple of LED lights off Amazon. They're the newer 660 LEDs, so I've got 2 of them. I got one up here on my right and then one slightly above here. So while they're not perfect and I need to work on diffusing the light a little bit better, I'm going to go with these for the moment because they use up a lot less space in the studio. So, but for today, what I'm really excited about is to get rid of this boring backdrop, the white boring wall. So today we're finally going to be mounting our foam pads. Let's go. So I picked up about 48 of these. They're going to be in alternating colors, and I'm going to mount them on this side of me here and on this side of me here. I don't know if you can tell behind me, this is kind of like a corner. So there's like a white gap in the middle. We're going to get them mounted to cover hopefully most of what you see behind me. Not only will that should help a little bit with the echo that you can probably hear, but it'll also look a lot cooler. So I'm going to mount these on the wall just using some simple, strong, double-sided tape, a little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom, and on the wall. So let's see how we go. So I finally got my foam pads behind me, which should improve the background. That turned into a little bit of a project. You see, I bought these polyurethane foam pads from Amazon, and along with it I got some double-sided sticky tape and thought that would be enough to stick 2 bits on there and then onto the wall. Only I've had a hard time finding any kind of sticking tape that will stick to this foam. So I've had them up like 3 times now and stuff has just been falling down. So in the end I went out and got some heavy duty industrial strength glue. The only problem being this is a rented office, so I can't do anything that might damage the walls. So what I came up with instead is I bought some card and used the industrial grade glue to just glue on little pieces of card onto the back of the foam pads, and then after that dried, after an hour or so, I then put the double-sided sticky tape on top of that, and then that on the wall. And so far that seems to be doing the trick. We'll see how many have fallen down when I come in the morning. So the studio's getting there, it's started a little more interesting. I want to try and find something to fill that little white gap in the background, but that's nothing major. Right now I'm quite happy with how things are. So I had everything almost exactly as I wanted it. There was only one more thing to change, and that was to fiddle around with the lighting again. So what I now have is one of my new LED lights sat here on the right of my face as my main key light. I'm then using the previous softbox light that you saw, but I'm having that further away from me as a bit of a filler for my face. And then finally the last LED light I'm using to light up the background, and I think that's really making the background pop a lot more than before when I didn't have a light shining on it. So I still might chop and change and experiment. I think that's part of the fun with building out the YouTube studio. You can experiment, you can find out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, different camera settings, different lighting setups. And I'm sure as I go on and as I learn more that I'll improve things. So I'm not a videographer, so if anyone has any comments or any tips that I could use to make my studio better here, then please leave them down below. And if you're interested in some of my upcoming videos, which is going to be focused on making money online course creation, content creation, blogging, all that kind of stuff, then please do subscribe to the channel and get notified of my future videos. Until then, thanks for watching and see you soon.